There we are. Now you can hear me? Oh my goodness. Should I say that all over again? Oh my goodness. Things are just okay. Let's go back to the beginning. Welcome, first of all, to Touch Base Daily. My name is Ron Foster, and I touch base with you every day. And hopefully this time the mic is on. I had to change the mic out. That's why. Okay. Okay. We're working. We got some glitches this week. Some things that are happening. That means we're alive. That's good. We can hear you now. Can you hear me now? Okay, there you go. Thank you. So yeah, the mute was on. I don't even know how the mute button went on. It's crazy. Okay, so anyway, I am back. As I was saying, sorry for the mute button being on. A lot has happened in our country. This is not the same country you have. The country that you knew 48 hours is no longer. And the country that we were all born into is no longer. And should I say, this is a position of, yes, we are need to be in a great position of being alarmed. Sound the alarm, as they say. Sound the alarm. And so there you go. Um, okay, there we go. Got it, got it, got it. Okay, so anyway, back to Omar being the first person in the room. Omar says, I'm first, and he said, good morning. Since I didn't get to say it verbally, good job. I see Brian Amparo's in the building. What's going on? Grand Rising, she says. Hey, Daya is in the building. I miss my Daya. Daya is in the building. Thank you. Yes, the audio is back. Okay, there you go. Say it all over again. Thank you, Lisa. And speaking of Lisa, Lisa was the first person to download her Patreon gift. I hope, and I think she loves it. I think she loves it. For those that don't, let me just put my screen up here, and so you can know what I'm talking about. I got to do that without showing the code. Okay, let me do that real quick. Anyway, I for those that are members of the Patreon community that support what I do here every day, that financially support what we do here. And again, if you are interested in supporting what we do here, you can join the Patreon community. And so here we go. But I'm trying to get to the page. I'm trying to get to the lowdown of my page. My page needs to be on lockdown. Okay, there we go. There we go. We are locked in. Okay, so here we go. Let's pop this in. Computer's moving a little slow today. So, okay, so yeah, I can't chime in. I can't show you. I can just show you the page. How about that? Okay, because then you can see. So this is the page. This is my page here. So you can look at that if you're interested in becoming a Patreon member. Our conversations, I always post on every other day, different articles, like definitely all the lessons that I teach on Tip Tuesdays. They are all here for the Patreon members in our Patreon community, with all the links and all the other stuff that goes along with it. So you can definitely tune into that. However, for those that are in the Patreon community, I sent them a link last night, and Lisa was like, "Ron, I think you sent this one before." And I picked the wrong link, and so I corrected that and put the first link I was supposed to put in. And so that link is there for you to download today. It will be gone by the end of the week, so you can take that, download it. Don't sell it. It is for you, for your purpose, for you only. And but it's a download for you to frame. What I love about Lisa is Lisa's been taking all the photos that I've been giving as downloads online, and she's been framing them. And so she's created a beautiful gallery in her house of my work. And and there's been other people that have been doing the same. So if you're in the Patreon community, that's what's going on. This is the lesson for today. We'll be talking about this later on, just briefly, because it's very quick, how to photograph your 4th of July holiday. So we'll do that real quick right after we do this talk. So that's what I wanted to show you all as in Patreon. So if you're not a Patreon member, become a Patreon member. I could use your support. It's financially what keeps me here doing what I do. If not, I have to go probably get another job and can't do this any longer. So we'll see how that all works out. So definitely help out. I could use your help. And especially, we photographers, we creatives, we need your support. We survive, or we thrive by the people that support us. Okay, that's how we do it as artists. And so anyway, thank you so much, all my Patreon community, for your love and your support and what you do for me, and how you chime in and you encourage me. You say, Ron, I got an idea. Oh, Daya, you didn't get a link? Go to you check your notifications. Okay, check your notifications. I see, hey, Diva to the max is in the building. She says, thanks, Ron. Omar says, very nice, Ron. Lisa says, the photo gift is beautiful. Thank you, Ron. Thank you, Lisa. And now who's watching Macy's fireworks? Says Bryson. We're gonna see. We'll talk about that later, Bryson. AI has your code, the alarm. Okay, I'm going to after the live. Can Biden now take out his political opponent? Okay, we're gonna dive into that one, Omar. We're gonna dive into that. Rewind, Ron. Okay, gotcha. Okay, good. So we're all caught up. We're all caught up. So anyway, hello to everybody. Welcome to Touch Base Daily. And like I said, we're gonna go into lessons. We're gonna probably do lessons quickly, because then we can just dedicate the rest of the conversation to what's going on politically. But also a shout out, or guys, prayerful thoughts for all of those that are in the Caribbean. Just a quick couple of quick headlines. Let me just pop back there. I'm all over the place today. But this was really interesting. Barrow Cat 5 hurricane is moving through the Caribbean. This is the first time in recorded history that there's a Category 5 hurricane so early in the hurricane season. And the reason why is that one is within an El Nino year weather pattern. Now, I should say not year, but weather pattern. And also that the water temperatures are 2 to 4 degrees warmer than normal. The temperatures of the water right now in the Caribbean are the temperatures that usually are in September, where we have some of our strongest hurricanes. So we are off to a big start. The waters are already warm to sustain a Category 5 hurricane. There's already been one death in the Caribbean. So keep the folks in the Caribbean in your prayers. Barbados got fringed, and a couple other people got fringed. And so it is interesting that, just keep them in our thoughts and prayers. Anyway, I don't know why people call me when I'm online. They should know. Everyone in the world should know I'm online with you. Anyway, okay, here we go. Also, let's see what else. Okay, we got everything. Okay, that was the only announcement I wanted to share. Okay, so can we dive into class right now? Can we go into school? It's school time for our Tip Tuesday. So we're going to get that out the way really fast. And then we're going to dive into the other stuff. Because I know the folks in LinkedIn are also looking for this lesson. I post these lessons, and this is being broadcast on Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So I always want to make sure that if I give an advertisement that I'm going to do something, is that since this is the business community, that we do it. So we're going to do this real quick. Also, let me see who's in the Instagram world. If you are in the Instagram world, come on over to YouTube. I know that a lot of folks are over there in that area, but YouTube is such a much better experience. So come over to YouTube, and you'll, like I said, we're gonna have a great time today. I see Tim's in the building. Hey, what's going on, Ron? So greatly finally meeting you at it's a Spin. Spin is Socials in the building. He says, so great finally meeting you at Pride Celebration. Spoke with you with Tachi yesterday. Yes, I'm so glad to see you here, sir. Come on over to the YouTube channel. Okay, and I see Front Media is over in Instagram. Diva 2, the Max, Eyes on Mel is in, Deb is in the building, Debbie, Deb, miss you, Deb. And who else is over there? No Name 97460 is in Instagram. So come on over to the YouTube channel. You will have a better experience. Okay, it is time for class. Okay, let me just pop this back. Hold on a second. Let me get this all set up for you all. It is time for class. It is time for class. And I think we got this all squared away. So, the tip Tuesday today is about how to photograph your July 4th holiday. We are 2 days away from the 4th of July. So a lot of folks will be gathered with their families. It is going to be a big travel weekend, a weekday. People are already traveling. People are already with families. So if you want to learn some tips, here's some tips on how to photograph your 4th of July holiday. And this is also with a photographer's mindset, because a lot of us as photographers, we always think about themes. We're always thinking about how to, make the theme better. So here we go. So let's check on that. So here we go. Here are some simple and effective tips for capturing memorable photos during your July 4th holiday. Okay, one is clothes in national colors. So this is like for I mean, this is really geared towards photographers. But again, if you are taking pictures, this is how you're going to make your photos look like they are related to 4th of July. How you compose the photos and what people are wearing is important. So here we go. Clothes in national colors. Dress your subjects, family, friends, or yourself in red, white, and blue outfits. Elegant clothes in these colors create a patriotic image without being overlay flat or flashy. You don't need special flag costumes. Choose stylish attire that fits the color scheme. Capture these portraits in interesting locations like gardens, parks, forests, beaches, or fields with minimal distractions in the background. Right? That's so important. And making sure that you have it's always just you want the little flags, you want the color, you want the American flags, you like little banners, red, white, and blue. Just keeping the theme in play so that your composition works well, as you connect and create these amazing images. Okay, let's go back. Oops. Oh, there we go. I want to stay on the stage here. Okay, use the flag. Use the American flag. Incorporate the American flag as a backdrop or prop. Hang the flag on a wall or place it behind your subject. You can also have someone hold it. Let the flag dominate the frame, blocking out clutter and unnecessary elements. Yeah, just do it. I mean, it's just easy. This is an easy tip Tuesday. Okay. And I see here next. Also, family activities. Showcase the value of family by capturing candid moments during a picnic or barbecue, including holiday attributes like flags, cowboy hats, or other red, white, and blue elements in the background. Focus on sincere interactions rather than posted shots. And that's always the case. Just really just getting in there. We've done this. Same thing applies like when we do Mother's Day. We did the Father's Day. Is getting in there, photographing interactions between people, getting in there, catching the smiles, catching the emotions. That's what's going to make your photos vibrant. That's what's going to make your photos beautiful. Okay. Next. Okay, and there's some examples of that. Fireworks, family, These are all stock photos. These are not my photos. These are stock photos. The reason why I use stock photos when I do this is because it's small enough to put into these slide presentations. But again, it serves the purpose. Okay. And that's it, pretty much it. Remember to enjoy the process and celebrate the spirit of Independence Day. Happy sharing. Okay, any Q&A, any questions on there? Oh, looks like we lost LinkedIn. How is that possible? Well, we having all kinds of technical difficulties today. Oh, view on LinkedIn. We're having trouble streaming on LinkedIn. This may be an issue. Okay. LinkedIn is gone. We have lost LinkedIn. Okay. Well, at least I got the lesson in before we lost them. Okay, so there we go. There you have it. Okay, I'm gonna remove that, and here I am. Okay, so guys, how are you feeling after yesterday? How are you feeling after yesterday's Supreme Court ruling entitled to some immunity in January? Supreme Court rules Trump is entitled to some immunity in January 6th case. How are you guys feeling? Thank you to Elise for walking with me after our time together yesterday because I was feeling some kind of way. And I know this is the 4th of July and we're, week and we're talking about America and America's independence. However, it's even stranger that we are talking about what's happening in the news and that we continue to lose freedoms. We talk about American Independence Day, being free, independence, freedom, which we know freedom has been slow to come to all. But now, over the last decade, to say now over the last 2 decades, we've watched our freedoms go backwards. And no more than the last 2 weeks. Can I just say pretty much the last week? We have lost so much in the last week. Even to the place now that many of the commentators yesterday were saying, we now have moved into the place of an imperial presidency and an imperial SCOTUS or imperial court. And this ruling is, I don't even know where to begin. Can I just say that? I don't even know where to begin of the craziness of this. Because one of the things is that many of the commentators were saying it's almost like they took the case that Trump was, that's been before the courts before, that brought this to the Supreme Court, and they went line by line and matched it to these new rules that they wanted to create. And so, yeah, I see like Trish is saying, Biden is king now. Use it well, Jojo. And Paro says, think about how this affects us as photographers. Freedom of the press will definitely be under scrutiny. Can we hover on this a little bit? Because a lot of photographers in this community, and we have a lot of photographers that go out into the world and photograph protests and photograph what's happening in the world. We are going to be under scrutiny is absolutely right. Let me just say what Paro says again. Think about how this affects us as photographers. Freedom of the press will definitely be under scrutiny. And it's tough sometimes. It's tough when you're a photographer and you're out in the field now, even in this country. Forget overseas. But now it will be almost like you're overseas, or it could be even worse. Because you can maybe be jailed, or maybe, cameras snatched from you, or, someone taking your stuff and trashing it. Because also Trump says when he gets back into office, he wants police to have no restrictions on how they interact with the public. No restrictions. He wants them to be all out. So this is not far-fetched. And I know a lot of folks in the media are saying, what's going to happen to our freedom of the press? Because again, and I'm always going to go back to it, Project 2025. If you have not been watching the scoreboard, if you have not been, well, first of all, you have to read Project 2025 to know what's going on. And Project 2025 is not a good read. It's not a feel good, make you feel good about America read. It's chilling, it's scary. And over the last two major decisions have been in coordination with Project 2025. Right? The power grab of SCOTUS on Friday is part of Project 2025. The president now being an imperial president or a president that can do whatever he wants and can do it with license to do it is now, it is part of Project 2025. This is all connected, y'all. This is not by chance. The dismantling of affirmative action, the dismantling of freedoms and rights, the dismantling of Roe versus Wade, the dismantling of all the things that you've seen over the last several years is not by chance. And for those that think Project 2025 only happens in the year 2025, you are mistakenly wrong. Project 2025 is happening now and has been happening, especially since we've had 3 justices put into place by the Trump administration. And the last 3 SCOTUS folks that have been placed in by the Trump administration all came from the federal list. The Federalist list. These are all adding. This is all happening, as they all say, this is not happening in a vacuum. These are all connected. And it's we have to read, we have to understand what's going on so we can draw the lines, make sure that we know where this is going. But also we have to educate ourselves. One is we need to understand what's coming if Biden doesn't win. If Trump wins, you need to know what's going to happen. The extremes that are about to happen. Omar sent me this from Axios this earlier. And it was really, this is let me see here. I've got my little phone here. And let me just give you just a little bit of this, because this was really here we go. I'm gonna go straight to this. Here we go. Okay, here we go. With this new change, what to watch for. To hear Trump and his allies tell it, this is how early 2025 would unfold if he wins. 1, a re-elected Trump will quickly set up vast camps and deport millions of people in the U.S. illegally. He could invoke the Insurrection Act and use troops to lock down the southern border. Number 2, in Washington, Trump would move to fire potentially tens of thousands of civil servants using a controversial interpretation of law and procedure. He'll replace many of them with pre-vetted loyalists. And this is all part of Project 2025. And the loyalists have already been recruited and continue to be recruit. So this is not far-fetched. This is in writing, and everyone can go read it. Number 3, he'll centralize power over the Justice Department, historically an independent check on presidential power, which now, because of yesterday, no more is necessary. There's no need, because why do you need to check the president when he can do whatever he wants now? He plans to nominate a trusted loyalist for attorney general and has threatened to target and even imprison critics. He could demand the federal cases against him cease immediately. Number 4, many of the January 6 convicts could be pardoned, which he promised he will do. He's already said it. He says it at almost every rally. Could be pardoned, a promise Trump has made at campaign rallies where he hails them as patriots, not criminals. Investigations of the Bidens would begin, which they've already started with the son. Trump says he'll slap 10% tariffs on most imported goods, igniting a possible trade war and risking short-term inflation. He argues this would give him leverage to create better trade terms to benefit consumers. And for those that don't know what tariffs are, it's literally another tax. And if you think inflation's bad now, wait till there's a tariff attached to the prices of your goods. Think about, guys, this is big. This is big stuff. Number 6, conversations will intensify about when Justices Clarence Thomas, age 76, and Sam Alito, 74, would retire. We talked about this yesterday. That the plan is that when Trump gets into office, he will then ask for Justice Clarence to resign and Sam Alito to resign so that it can put more mega justices on the court. And they will be younger, around the age of 35 and 40, so they can stay in the courts. Remember, it's a lifetime appointee. That means they could be in the courts for almost up to 50 years. 50 years. And then, and speaking of the courts, if Trump is able to also reappoint, like I say, after these two dudes retire, which they can't wait to do, I'm sure. But if something happens to any of the other justices during a Trump term, which he's promised to be a dictator, so there will be no more terms, there'll be no more voting as we know it, that when someone happens to have to retire because of sickness or dies, Trump will replace them also. So guys, you got to think the bigger picture. People are going crazy about Biden's age. Well, I think you need to be worried about the guy that's going to the people who are going to destroy democracy as we know it in America. So number 6, so let's go on. Going on with this thought of the getting rid of Justice Clarence and Thomas and Sam Alito, 74, would retire. Lists of potential successors are already drawn up, just like they did for the Barrett and the other ones. President Biden said last month that the next president is likely to have 2 new Supreme Court nominees. If Trump were to win and the two oldest justices retire, 5 of the 9 justices would have been handpicked by Trump. Think about that. Top Democrats privately predict Republican majorities in the House and Senate if Biden loses. These are chilling thoughts, y'all. But this is in Axios, so you can read this in Axios on their website today. Most of Trump's most prominent critics, Mitt Romney, Liz Cheney, will be gone. Even the few who remain, including Senator Mitch McConnell, will be substantially less powerful. Trump will be backed by an overwhelmingly Trump-friendly Senate and House loaded with loyalists, top to bottom. Many were elected since his 2016 win, and many thanks to his endorsements. And then I'll go into the last one. What they're saying, Senator J.D. Vance, a top prospect as Trump VP, told us Trump would have more allies and more loyal allies in Congress this time. You have to ask yourself, how many true allies of the agenda existed in the United States Capitol in January 2017? And how many will exist in January of 2025, Vance told us. You have a Republican Party that in some ways was divided against itself on January of 2017, Vance added. I think how I recognize is that Trump is effectively leader of the party, and you'll see that in governing style and certainly in agenda, with much less infighting between Republicans, which will make us more effective as a governing coalition. So you can read on. It goes on. There's a lot to read. It's on Axios. That is today. It was posted today in their print. But it is important that we educate ourselves. And why am I taking the time to do this? I think this is so important that everyone uses their platform. Every one of us who has an audience, every one of us that has a platform, even if we reach one person, you may say, Ron, I have a platform, but only 2 or 3 people show up to my shares, my posts, my whatever. One is enough. One can change the world. One can make a difference. One can change the direction. So don't underestimate your voice. Don't underestimate your voice. On this Tip Tuesday, we're giving you some tips on, we gave you some photography tips already, but now we're talking about life in America as we know it changing and what it will become if we do not vote. Trish says, no thanks to any of that. Let's vote blue. We cannot take the chance to vote any Republican into office, especially now knowing what the Supreme Court is doing. SCOTUS is on a roll, right? We just talked about the Chevron decision on Friday. Or we talked about it yesterday about what they did on Friday, which now takes laws that are passed by Congress and now give them oversight or final decision with the courts without any expertise backing it. Up until this point, you had all of these bodies that were protections, the protection of our water, the protection of the air, the climate. All that stuff now is in jeopardy because if the court doesn't agree with it, whether it's a law or not, it's gone. It could be gone. They could strike it down. So, guys, this is huge. We are watching our country change so fast. Like I said, in the last 2 weeks. So, anyway, what do you guys have to say? Did anyone do any homework last night? Let me just go to some of your comments. Let me see what you guys are saying here. I see also Patricia says Biden is king now. Use it well, Jojo. I agree. I say if Biden, and this is, this is, I mean, you say this very well, Trish. The great thing is that Biden is in office right now. And I don't know if you read the dissents from the justices. I have those also here. I mean, again, CNN did I'm just going to show you CNN's post. CNN does a great job. And I mean, all day long, they were really just in it, just kind of like just sharing headlines after headlines and analytics about the justice decision. What is this new immunity? Why does the president need this immunity? What does it say if the Constitution about presidents getting special immunity? How far does the immunity extend? This is all good information. Read it on CNN. They did a good job, and this was yesterday, posted yesterday. It was all day, pretty much. All the lawyers were in the room. If you want to learn law, you might learn law now because it's so many lawyers sharing their thoughts. And what I mean by thoughts, they're sharing legal thoughts. And you also have the Republicans sharing theirs and saying this is a win because this also furthers their agenda. So check that out. Make sure. So you got Axios, that's AXIOS, great platform for politics and news. And you have CNN, who's usually not even pro Biden, but they do a great job in breaking down this Supreme Court ruling. So check that out as well. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying in here. I see here, Brian says the SCOTUS ruling coming the same week as July 4th is hypocrisy at its finest. Okay, I see. Kimmy says, let me just pop this off the screen here. She said, I thought I understood that the president has some immunity without the ruling, but now it seems that power can be abused. And that was what Wei Wen was talking about, is that it's been understood that presidents operate with some immunity. It has never been a problem until Trump. I mean, think about it. I mean, Joy Reid brought out some good points yesterday when she said the presidents in the past have done some horrific things. Never went to jail for it. They've done some bad things in the past, but in the name of the country, for the country, supposedly. So why was this so important that they put this in writing? So that Trump can now, if he becomes president, will have a platform to make his decisions. He will have as they were saying, the lawyers were saying, he will have legislation, he will have law saying now he can do it. It was always on the presumption that there was some immunity. There has never been a president been convicted of a crime by a previous administration until Trump. And still, it's not Biden against Trump. It's it's law. It's the Justice Department fighting for justice for the American people against Trump. It's the US government against Trump. Why does he need this if he was to become president? But the good thing is Biden is president. And how they navigate this is going to determine a whole lot also. Because remember what was said in the court hearings of the the debate, and Justice Sotomayor, am I saying her name correctly? She says, "Hey, you can use um, Navy SEAL 6 to assassin to take out your political rival." Now, I don't know. I'm just saying. We have Trump. We have Biden saying he's not going to use this. He's not going to use this. But I think he may have to reevaluate to save our democracy. I'm not saying he should go and take out Trump. Not saying that, but now he has the ability to do so because he is president. And he can take this court ruling and use it to his advantage to save the country as well. It's just a thought. Just a thought. What else you guys saying? Omar says, it's crazy seeing how all this unfolding in front of us. We are seriously at a point where a revolution can happen. Very much so true, Omar. Chris says, I'm going to have to apologize for letting my frustrations with the political status get in my spirit yesterday. Don't forget Brown versus Board of Education. And guys, here's another one that's going to maybe overturned. Think about this. Brown versus Board of Education. Notice that a lot of these things that are being overturned is about people of color. It is the minority rule, white rule, over people of color. But yes, stay tuned. This is one of those that's up. Don't forget Brown versus Board of Education. And for all my friends who are married to in same-sex marriages, your turn is coming up too. We are living in something we have never in our lives imagined could be happening in our country. We thought our country would get better and freer. We never thought that we would be losing rights, established rights. And we had 3 new SCOTUS people that swore that they were going to stick with precedent. Well, that's out the window. They lied to the American people. Yeah. Here's another one. Brian says, not just the 3 SCOTUS justices, but the lower court judges that have lifetime appointees as well. That's right. And we need to always remember that the Supreme Court is just one part of the justice system. It's the top. But the president puts in lifetime appointments in the lower court. Hello, remember Florida? What's going on in Florida right now? Right? Some of these cases are making their way up to the Supreme Court because of the lower courts. Gotta go through the lower court first before it goes to the higher court. So guys, think about what's happening in our country. It's so important. Please read Project 2025. Brian says Project 2025 spells out every single thing. If you don't understand what's happening, this Project 2025, one of the main pillars or the objectives of Project 2025 is to dismantle the full infrastructure of our government in the way we know it today. Is to tear it down and rebuild it into their image. Is to tear down our government that we know to something that we won't even recognize. And there is a reason to be. I'll never forget one of the senators yesterday. She says, I'm shocked and I'm scared. This is someone who served in the Senate. And she says she was shocked by this ruling, and now she is scared. If there's room to be afraid, we should be very afraid. And we should let our fear drive us to help folks to see the clarity in what's going on, so that way they will vote. They will vote. And I mean, when I say vote, I'm saying vote blue. I don't usually tell people what to vote for. I'm an independent. I'm not a Democrat. But we need to vote Democrat all the way down. We need to make sure not one Republican gets in the Senate, and not one Republican gets in the House of Representatives, and not the one orange man gets to the seat of the presidency. It still horrifies me that there's people in this country, 40% of this country, that are not alarmed, and they want this. And they live among us. They are our brothers and sisters in the country. As they say, fellow countrymen and women. Chris says, the lines get redrawn due to powers and control, get gerrymandering. The point by point how to retain power in government. And we know a lot of senators and a lot of Congress people are in place because of gerrymandering. Yeah, thank you for that, Chris. Kimmy says, the January 6th insurrection was only a small example of what could happen. Well, think about this. Some of the folks, because of the court hearing last week that said on Friday, I think it was Friday, that some of what the January 6th, some of the charges can be reversed because they're not constitutional according to the Supreme Court's decision last week. We just had three major decisions happen in the last 4 work days, right? Think about what's going on. So this insurrection is, some of their cases are going to be overturned. Some of them, not all of them, but some of them. But if you think January 6th was horrific before someone like Trump knew what he was doing, now he knows what he knows what he can do, and now the courts are with him, the Supreme Court. Okay, next. Lift out, change the title from presidents to czar. Yeah, that's possible. Sorry for the noise. It sounds like someone's doing some trees. Hopefully you're not hearing the trees being cut. We all will suffer. And guys, it's like Roland Martin said, and for some resources, guys, make sure you check out Joy Reid. Make sure you check out Roland Martin. Make sure you check out who else should you be looking at to get all this information? Rachel Maddow's done a very good job. Lawrence McDonald has done a great job on this as well. Even Don Lemon has been doing very good with the guests he's had on to share about this. So make sure you know where to go to get this information. Don't just take it from Ron. I'm just delivering to you the stuff that I've been taking in and sharing with you, so that way you can go out and do your homework. Okay? Because I am not a lawyer. So you need to go and look at the sources. Brian says, the border picture this paints is the consolidation of power to convict Orange, Agent Orange, or we call him Orange, convict Orange. This is out of the Nazi playbook per the Enabling Act of 1933. They're very similar. Very similar. And for those that don't realize where the Nazis got their ideas from, go look at the movie. What's the movie? Gosh, I lost the name of the movie that we've been talking about. But the movie about the caste system, caste, right? Or read the book Caste System or Caste. Yeah, the Nazis got their ideas not from Germany. They got their ideas from America. Most people don't realize that. They got their ideas. The foundations of their ideas came from America. They came here, analyzed how the system here was able to oppress so many people. They learned from the American South on how to do it, and they use some of those foundations and rules to use them in their movement as the Nazi movement. Check your notes, check history, y'all. History is important. Trish says, fight for our rights every day. It's all of our jobs to fight for our rights every day. I agree. Bryson says, we gotta go back. Yep. Yes, right, Bryson. We got to get back on blue and not red. Lisa says, the right panelists on CNN were definitely saying this was always in place. This has been this federal the Heritage Society, sorry, let me get it. The Federalist Society and the Heritage Society, they have been around since, this has been a 40 years in the making, y'all. This is not something that just happened. This is 40 years in the makings. This started during the Reagan years. A lot of it. Who knows where else it started before then, but it started to really gain traction. The Federalist Society, the Heritage Society, that all started 40 years ago. Lisa says they said Nixon and Clinton have used it. Yeah, it's been around a long time, but now now they have a game plan. Now they have a manual. Now, and this again is a combination of 250 different far right conservative movements have come together to create this. So this is not some some folks in the basement creating Project 2025. This is 220, I think it's 225 or 250. 225, 250, whatever that number is. Institutions coming together to create this game plan. This is a well thought out plan. Chris says the administration isn't being a case against him, the Justice Department and other DAs. Exactly. That's against Trump. Lisa Seeley says, well, since the SCOTUS is on break, can't Biden make some moves before they come back? Because it will have to go up the court chain before it even gets back to the SCOTUS, right? This is very true. I'm saying the Democrats need to start waking up, and as Taraji said at the BET Awards, stop playing checkers, play chess. You need to be 3 moves ahead. 3 moves ahead of what's going on. Lisa says she was saying, hint, hint. Okay, gotcha. Chris says, yes, that's what can be done in a stretch if the CIA isn't available. Okay, exactly. My inner voice. Yep, I think Biden and the Democrats should be using this to their advantage. Kimmy says Biden should think about making some changes based on the ruling for the future. Can he now change the lifetime appointments for courts? Hmm. Can he just do it? He's the king now. I think they should be thinking about some of this stuff. Don't know. Kimmy Kim, that's a good I don't know. Any lawyers will have to let us know what that. I mean, we'll have to see how this unfolds. Lisa says, "Can we impeach those three justices for lying? Why don't Biden remove them for lying since he is king?" Someone did mention that yesterday, and one of the commentators that mentioned that one of the lawyers on MSNBC, and they were saying how one said they could probably do that, impeach those three Supreme Court justices. However, it will go up to the Supreme Court, and then they will make a ruling in support of themselves. So, anyway, interesting thought, though. These people are thinking. Chris says, losing rights as Americans. What about the Native Americans to reservations, Asian Americans into internment camps during World War II? Detainments of foreign people is internments equal to prison. Absolutely true. That's right. Yes, Kim, he needs to fully use his privileges. The president now has I think Biden has new privileges, and I think he should use them. You need to be Democrat is important. Yeah. This also means that Karen. Here's one. Derek says this. Oh, hey, Derek. First of all, good morning, Derek. This also means that Karen and Kens can be in the right and no one will say anything against them. Also, here's Kimmy Kim says reversing the January 6 charges is insane. They were there and participated in a crime, destroying property, hurting people, storming our government buildings. Thank you, Aya. Aya says cast. Yes, the book is called Cast. Read it. And the movie is called Origins. Thank you. Thank you, guys. That's why I love this community. Our community works together. That's right. See, I don't have notes in front of me. I'm just sharing with you from all that I've learned from the last 24, 48 hours. Really, I'm such a junkie of politics. Um, it's just something my brain is conditioned to do. Ah, yes, Jim Crow. Jim Crow can be reinstituted, y'all. It can be. We're heading that way because as you eliminate affirmative action, as you eliminate all of these laws that protect people of color, really protecting Black people, because that's why these laws were created, we're heading back. Now the South can do whatever they want. Places around the country can now do what they want because that's the whole purpose of just we want everything in the states. Well, the states did not do too well. That's what led us to a civil war because the states were bad players in the South, right? We needed civil rights because the states were not good players. And the Supreme Court has gutted the Civil Rights Act. Okay, let me move. Okay, Romar says, I think we should have the discussion on Facebook as well. The reach would be better, in my opinion. Do you believe it or not? No one really responds to these conversations. I'm on Facebook usually every other day. I'm on usually Instagram. Oh, LinkedIn is back. LinkedIn and YouTube. And folks in Facebook do not connect. Don't know why. Just my observation. When I post on Facebook, one or two people are like, oh, okay, that's nice. Other platforms, there's more interaction. I don't know what's going on with the folks on Facebook. I don't really attend there. I don't hang out on Facebook. I send things there, but I don't hang out there. Lisa says, I was speaking about the presidential immunity. You got it, my dear. Chris says, again, the Dems cannot agree in House, so why can we think they can work together? Well, the tradition of the Democrats is always to eat their own. One of the reasons why I'm not a Democrat. But the Democrats, they need to wake up, get on the bandwagon. They only got Biden to put Biden out now and to try to put someone else on the ticket and to also push Kamala to the side will cause all kinds of havoc in the Democrat Party. Think about it. Do you think it's going to go well with Black women who are the main supporters of the Democrat Party, the foundation of the Democrat Party, and you oust Kamala? Do you think that's going to go well with the Democrat Party, with the pillars of the Democrat Party, Black women? You think that's going to go well? No. And then there'll be all kinds of bickering and fighting. The Democrats cannot. They need to stick with Joe. He already has the delegates, or he will have them when they pledge them at the convention. They need to stick with Joe. And like someone said, I don't care if Joe is on an oxygen tank. I don't care if he's hooked up to a machine and can make decisions from his machine bed. I'm voting for Joe. You know why? Because the alternative is dangerous. The alternative is that there will be no more country. Look what's going on, and Joe is in office. Look at what the Supreme Court is doing now. Could you imagine if Trump was in office? The alternative is clear. It's democracy or dictatorship. There's no in between. And I'm tired. Now I took a long time to take it all in from the debate. Yes, Joe was horrible. Horrible. Horrible in the debates. But guess what? He was out there the day after. He's still out there. He's doing his thing. He came to the podium yesterday to talk about this Supreme Court decision. Knock it off with Joe because he's old. Forget, maybe they need to put the focus on the liar on the debate, the one that never said anything of truth. Let's get it right. I'd rather have an old man that's kind and gentle and generous to folks and thinking about humanity and be old and slow than a liar and every person around him has been convicted and put in jail and have someone like that running the country. It could not be more stark. The differences could not be more animated. This is the first. I mean, usually president elections are like, just policy changes. This is democracy or no democracy. Could someone tell me why would you be upset with Joe being an old man? And again, like I said, a lot of these people that are out there, Democrat and Republicans, are just talking heads, and a lot of them are whiteheads that don't want a Kamala presidency if something was to happen to Joe. That is the foundation of what this is. They're not, think about it, they're not going after the liar, the person that has 34 felonies. That's who you should be saying should be off the ticket. No one's telling the Republicans to get him off the ticket. Let's put it in perspective. Let's not lose our sugar honey iced tea over age. When we know we know what the real situation is. The real situation. Oh, what time is it? Am I okay? I gotta get ready to let you go a little bit. The real issue is not Biden being old. Is Biden being old, and if he dies while being president, because Kamala will become president, and they don't want a black woman as president. I keep saying that's the elephant in the room. That's the elephant in the room. Anyway, okay. Let me go on to what you guys are saying, and we're gonna close out. Oh, I had to go there. Lisa said, first of all, they are both old. That's right. It's the president, but we also need the House and Senate and make change. Otherwise, they will continue to block everything. We have to change the House. Well, keep the Senate, and we got to get those seats back from the House of Representatives. We need a full Democratic Congress. And do you know, if everyone votes Democrat and we change all of the seats in the House to Democrat, and if we can change as many seats in the Senate to Democrat, we might be able to change the 270, what we call electoral college. We could do that if everyone thought like a chess player. If we really had a full Democrat House, President, and Senate, we may be able to get and make changes to the electoral college. And then we could vote with the majorities and not this craziness. We got to see the big pictures. The big picture. Okay. What else is he saying? Dr. Tati says, indeed, the hate Kamala and what she stands for more than they dislike Cheeto Satan. That's Dr. Tachi. Absolutely, Ron says Omar. Trish says, Joe has decades of experience. And can we go with the record, speaking of experience? Sorry, Dr. Tachi, we're going to go to 10:30. I mean, 11:30. 11:30. Another hour and a half show. And the reason why I say that, because Dr. Tachi does the replays on Indie Soup Media, and they're usually an hour long. And lately I've been going overtime, so I apologize. But this is a crucial conversation. Joe's records. Can we go with the record? The highest stock market in history, lowest unemployment, crime is down, inflation's moving down. Legislation passed. More legislation passed under Joe. Bipartisan legislation passed under the Biden-Harris administration. More bills have been passed in the 3 years. He's passed more legislation than most presidents between now and since Lyndon Johnson. Lyndon Johnson may have him beat. But no other president has passed more legislation, bipartisan legislation, that has impacted the country in rural America. Rural America has getting new bridges and roads and getting Wi-Fi. That was because of Joe. We now have semiconductors being built in America because of Joe. Crime is going down because of Joe. Don't believe the hype. Look at the numbers can lie, but make sure you look at the stats, the real stats. You're gonna throw a man you're gonna throw the baby out with the bathwater because of one debate, which is meaningless because most presidents don't rely on debates skills anyway. Just get some of these folks need to get a life. And I'm so disappointed in some of the leaders in the Democrat Party that are making these horrible decisions. Oh, Adrian walked in the room. Hey, Sonny boy, what's going on, Adrian? Adrian says he's applying for his British passport. No lie. Could you please let me know how you do it so that I can join you? We do, and I'm a believer of dual. I definitely keep saying I'm going to get my dual passport, another country, and I need to work on that. Like, yes, I need to do that this summer. People talk, yeah, the passport is important. Deadline, White House. Okay, got that. Guys, Kimmy says that something very. Who's going to come save us if this country becomes a dictatorship? Will any free democratic countries want to save our democracy? Well, they'll be also trying to hold on to their own because you do know this is a movement across the globe. What happened in England, or I should say, in Great Britain, uh, I think it was last month or 2 months ago, is the alt right had a big rally, which had a big showing. They're moving. The Brits are moving towards this as well. This is also happening in France. It's also happening in Germany. This is not just an American phenomena. This is minority rule. And it's happening globally. South Africa, the ANC now is now in control. I say that over and over. And the DNC is out. ANC is in. The folks that were responsible for apartheid. This is a global movement. So your passport, your passport in another country may not work out. So you gotta really do your homework. Whew, you guys are really chiming in here. Okay, let me see. Where do I begin? Because I always like to make sure we get you all in here. Okay, good. I caught up to there. I'm there. Okay, got that. Chris says separation of branches. The president cannot move against either branch. Checks and balances. However, now that because of the ruling yesterday, he can. Said some of the lawyers yesterday. He can. The check and balances are now off. Let's see here. Brian says, be mindful of the Black folks organization supporting Project 2025. For example, the Frederick Douglass Foundation, Project 21, Black Leadership Network. Okay. Yep, beware. Not everyone that is skin, not everyone that's kin is our friend. He has only a few months left. Yeah, to waste his time. Got it. Deadline, White House. Okay, got that. Who's going? Let me look at the time. Okay, good. I'm good on time for get off at the 30 mark, half hour. We are absolutely moving towards. Adrian says we are absolutely moving back towards legal segregation and Jim Crow. Folks gonna be surprised when they get their camp assignments, aka plantation assignments. It's not far fetched, y'all. Nothing is far fetched. And I always said, if you want to be really scared out of your wits, maybe you should take some time to look at the Handmaid's Tales. It is really a good. I needed to breathe there. Lisa's talking about engagements. Yeah, my Facebook is basically no engagements. I agree. Facebook is no engagements. Yeah, it's not Omar. Facebook is not as good as Meta is no longer what it used to be. This is Facebook, Instagram, Meta. You can only use those platforms to take you to your destination. For instance, people are right now in Instagram. How many people are in Instagram? Several people are in Instagram. My cousin's in Instagram. Wait, hey, hello, hey, Mr. Rob. Um, we can use Instagram to bring people over to our platforms in YouTube. That's what we can do. But YouTube, Instagram right now, no reach. Facebook, no reach. Just throwing that in that since it was in the chat. Uh, Lisa says, Adrian, you're gonna get. She's talking about the original colonizers. Is that what you're gonna get your passport at? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I love this group. I love this community. Brian says, I've been saying it. If he is on life support, they better prop his ass up like Weekend at Bernie's. I'm still voting for him. A President Kamala Harris will not be a bad thing. And you know what? I said that I really thought about the Kamala scenario. I really believe she's going to be a good president. I mean, if something was to happen to Joe, I really believe she will be an awesome president. I just think she will be. I think she will be. And the reason why is because I read her records. Read her records. Read what she's done in California as a prosecutor. Learn how her mindset works. And she has one great asset. She's a Black woman. And there's something, and now this is not a prejudiced statement against white women. I love white women too. However, white women know this as well. There's something about the strength of Black women and their outlook on life. The way they see the world is quite unique. Black women have this incredible instinct of they don't like BS. Now, I'm not saying white women don't like BS, but I'm just there's a special shaping, and I'm saying it because I'm a Black person. I just saying it because I've been around white women and Black women, and this is my observation. Black women juggle a whole lot, and it's instinctive because of slavery or whatever it comes from years of pressing through no matter what, being the, holding down the home, holding down the family, holding down a job, holding down, and society is fighting against them, and they still keep rising. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean that was a tangent. I'm sorry. I just had to say, but I really believe Kamala would be a great president. I think she has a perspective that most people would not have. And she also has an Indian background. She's Asian. She's Asian and she's Black. I think it's a great combination. So anyway, so I did not to. No, Trish says a Black woman president would be awesome, and Trish is a white woman, y'all. However, Trish is really a Black woman trapped in a white woman's body. If you ever meet Trish in person, you'll realize very much so. She's a Black woman trapped in a white woman's body. Anyway, Trish says change term limits on. Yeah, I would do that definitely. Change the term limits on SCOTUS on the Supreme Court. Biden. Whatever happens what happened to the Lincoln Project? The Lincoln Project is working overtime. If you want to get some information, another area is also the Lincoln Project. Go to their website. They are working overtime. They're popping stuff out like this. So go to the Lincoln Project. That is a really good platform. Those are ex-Republicans working, or I should say Republicans that are against Trump. But why do they say okay, everyone should be following the Lincoln Project. There, Brian says the same thing. 8:15, how we wake up. Wake this, John. Okay, good. Good, good, good. Passports, we're good. Got that. Who cares about the debates in the long term? Exactly. No one cares about the debates. And every president that was reelected also lost their debates. Clinton, Obama, they lost their debates and they became presidents for a second term. And and Dr. Tachi, with her British accent, says, listen, England should shut up and sit down. They're responsible almost single-handedly with the help of their stupid European cronies for the underdevelopment largest population in the world. Dr. Tachi, I'm not going down that road. Adrian says, fear of a black planet. There is a population that is afraid of the coloring of power in the global sense. Anyway, okay. The people are going to be the saviors. Yes, Kimmy Kim. The people going to be the saviors. No one can save us, y'all. The courts can't save us. President Biden can't save us. We must save ourselves by voting. Thank you for that. Thank you. The SCOTUS says, okay, let me get that. Okay, got 3 minutes. Let me just put this on while I am doing this. If you are here, that obviously means hopefully you like this platform and you can like, share, subscribe. Make sure you do that. Put that on there. I got that on the screen so you can have that to, yeah. Okay, now let me continue on. Adrian rebuttals. Trish, that's my conundrum because I will vote. Too many people fought, bled, and died for me to do so. Yeah, I don't understand why anyone would not vote. Omar said, Adrian, that's the mindset we can't have. Black men can't use the card when democracy is at stake. We must all stay and support. We must fight. We must fight. The mindset of not supporting Joe Biden is so much bigger than that. Exactly. Okay. Omar says mindset of not supporting Joe Biden. It's so much bigger. Trish says strong women are keeping us all together. That's right. That's right. And Trish says she's kind of white and kind of black. That's right. Yes, you are, Trish. Adrian says black women are the most underappreciated population. They still are the best ones to get us out of a mess. Hey, they put Joe in the White House. Black women vote. Black women, and I'm going to close on this. When I worked at Foot Locker, I used to be amazed of the power of the black woman. When I used to work at Foot Locker, I was a manager in downtown Brooklyn. It was some of the most interesting years of my life. And I would watch men, big, husky, broad men, pop into the store and we're trying to decide on what to buy. Their sneakers, their shorts, their shirts, their jerseys, whatever it was that they were going to buy. Black men are highly influenced by black women. I will say, just from my observation working at Foot Locker for a couple of years, did not last long there. I moved on to other better things after that, but I did have time to observe black women. Most of the black men that walked in the store, if they walked in with their girlfriend, wife, or spouse, or some significant other, they would not make a decision of yes until that woman, that black woman, would say, honey, go get it. Go get it. I like it. Adrian says you didn't stay at Foot Locker and nearly long enough. I'm still sad I spend so much on sneakers. That's the son speaking. But yeah, I'm impressed by the power of women, but mainly, I mean, and it's not to say the white women don't have a power either. Remember, we know that the white suburban mom has a whole lot of power. Shoot, Oprah would not be Oprah without white suburban moms, right? So women are powerful. Women are powerful, and women can change the direction of this country. We need to figure out how to get our black men and our white men that are totally against Trump on the board to vote. We got to figure out how to get our young people to get beyond the Palestinian conflict and vote for their country. Not saying the Palestinians situation isn't bad, it's horrific. But you got to save this democracy so you can help create their democracy. If you cannot save this democracy, because if America loses its democracy, you can look for democracies to fall around the globe. And all of that, I'm not voting because of the Palestinians, how Biden send arms to Israel and all yada yada yada. You need to think about saving your country first so that you will have rights and freedom so you can protest and so that you can save other democracies. Play chess, y'all, not checkers. And on that note, guys, I think it's time for me to get out of here. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for letting me come into your living rooms and your airways, wherever I may be, you may be listening to me from. I hope this inspires you. I hope this encourages you. We must vote. We must encourage folks to vote. We must be the light. We must play chess, not checkers. We must vote. We must read Project 2025. We must know what's going on. It is important. It is important. Vote like your life depends upon it, because it does. And on that note, guys, see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's our Wisdom Wednesday, and tomorrow we're going to do another, because we were so much fun last week. We're going to continue. We're going to have our Freestyle Wednesday, which is we call Water Cooler Wednesdays. So we're going to do Water Cooler Wednesdays. We won't have a guest tomorrow because most of the folks are on vacation. So everyone will have guests coming after the holidays, after the holiday. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves, and I hope you guys got some wisdom out of this. I hope you learned something today. It's so important. I do this not because I make money doing this. I do this because I care about us as a people, meaning we collectively that believe in democracy. Whether, I don't care what color you are, I don't care what religion you are, we must all fight for democracy. Okay, I'm gone. Later.